So I almost forgot to start filming. So this is the driver's side where the water fill is. I've taken off the fill pocket, and I had some black vinyl here which really didn't work out. And I've never known how I was going to actually finish this off, but I've always kind of thought in my mind that I might try the poor man's fiberglass, which is tight bond, a layer of tight bond, and then you lay over some canvas, or I'm using drop cloth, and then another layer of tight bond. You let it dry, and then you can latex over it, latex paint. So I'm going to give that a crack. I had nothing to go to over here. This was just out in space, so I took this piece of all thread and I drilled a hole right there, and then I drilled a hole into the bottom of that. It doesn't need to be that strong. It just needs to hold up the linen while it dries, and then I think once it dries, the strength will be in the poor man's fiberglass. And then to keep it away from to keep this gap consistent, I ran a piece of wire over there. So I got my tight bond, I got my little boat for my glue, and I got a wet rag in case I screw up, which I'm sure I will. And I'll get to cracking. Alright, so I laid down just to the bottom of that wood area a layer of tight bond, and also when I stapled this down, I put a bead there as well. Now, tight bond's water-based, so what I'm going to do is, I got my squirt bottle here. I'm going to just moisten this linen just a little bit, or drop cloth, and thinking that might draw in the tight bond a little bit with like a capillary action. So I'm going to moisten it a little bit, and then I'm going to brush on some tight bond. So I'm about to do that bottom half, and the question was, how do I get it around the back side of that all thread that I had there and keep it tight? So what I did was, I'll have to crawl in here and show you, was I ran that piece of scrap PVC in there, and I just hooked the material, and there's probably a good view right there where I hooked the material and kind of just wrapped it around the PVC, and I'm gonna spray it down with mist it with some water now, and just brush it with some tight bond and let it dry and see where we wind up. Alright, I got 2 coats on the top and 1 on the bottom. Not really thrilled about the wrinkles here, but I think once it hardens up and I spray it, roll it black, I think it'll be just fine. So anyway, let's see how that hardens up. Well, I haven't put a second coat on the bottom half yet. The top half has a second coat. The bottom half I let get mostly dry, and then I started working it with the heat gun just a little bit, and then I would go in and kind of try and press out some of the wrinkles, and I think I got most of them out. It's a lot better than it was on that last clip. So I think at this point I'm going to go ahead and put the second coat on the bottom. So I'm on the back side now. I've already wrapped the top half over, and I've laid some glue down here. You can kind of see it. I've laid it on here, and I'm just wrapping this over at this point. So I think what I'm going to do is, my little boat's almost out of glue. I think I'm going to put a layer on the back side of that as well. Yeah, wouldn't hurt. Okay, there we are. I got the edge wrapped over from the other side around that piece of all thread, and I painted that down. I put a layer, another layer of Titebond on the back side, and that little piece right there, kind of just standing there, and I put a piece on that too. I don't really think I need to reinforce that or anything. Just gonna let that be. So we're gonna let that dry up and get some paint the outside of it. Alright, so we got the coat of paint. Looks much better than that piss yellow. It's actually wood behind that stuff, but I think it'll fly. Probably one more coat of paint, and then I will match the OE stuff pretty good. I did that from memory. I drove my Ford to the hardware store, thinking I'll go get some paint samples and take them out to the truck and match them up, and then I realized I wasn't even driving this. So I did it from memory. Pretty close. There was a, let's see, right there. Pretty close in color. Close enough. Yeah, I decided if I'm going to go buy paint, I might as well buy something that matches, so that's what I did. So that's the end of that cabinet. All painted and buttoned back up. If I'm filling this and I spill any water, it's going to be watertight. If I get it in and out of the truck, I don't know if I for some reason have to come over here and open this in weather, you know, it's not going to be getting on the wood. Obviously I still need to trim the back of this and come up with a solution here. I could just paint those brown and call it. Not really too concerned about it, but I do want to put a piece of wood here. You know, I could even have it open up so I can access it from outside the vehicle. Lord knows I can't get it inside the vehicle with the mattress in. I don't know if I showed you, but a lot of wiring in there, and I guess I can show you that next, but I haven't cleaned it up yet. But there's my fuse block, but I did a bus bar over here. I can't remember if I showed you guys that or not. I think I did. Anyway, did a piece of monster cable there over a bus bar, and then every time I hook something up, I just tie the ground into that bus bar. So a lot of wiring to clean up. But I don't know if these are going to be a hit or not. But I wanted some light above the sink area. So I was on the Amazon, and I still might go this route. I don't know, but the little down lights that you put under steps outdoors, they're 12 volt, so I don't even need a transformer. I just stick them on there and plug them in. But they were a little pricey, so I came across these license plate lights, LEDs, They were like $8 a pair. So I put one there, and I put one there in the entryway, and put a switch in, and I can't tell how bright they're going to be, but they're not that bright. But maybe, you know, we're going to have to see when I put the blackout in, and, you know, maybe they're going to be fine. I don't know. They're definitely a bright white compared to, you know, the warmer glow of the LEDs, but, you know, we'll see. We'll come back out here at night and check it out, but I got that done today too. Oh, and I got another, that's my bungee setup, and I'm gonna run one more in this area, like here, and I think that's where I'm gonna put like all my blackout stuff. It's gonna go up there, and obviously that won't take up all the space, so it's a good spot to put, like, I don't know, we'll figure it out when I start camping, but I'm sure like freaking clothes or jackets or bedding, I don't know, I'm sure I'm gonna run out of storage quick, so those bungees I have a feeling are gonna come in really handy. So anyway, that's that. So I'm blacked out, and I don't know if I shared with you guys, but I changed the way that I mounted the front blackout curtain. But first of all, let's see how bright my new license plate lights are. Those are gonna work. So at night, there's plenty of light in here. So let's turn them on. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. All right, so I'll leave those on. So what I did was I took a piece, I've got some carbon fiber rod back when I used to build model aircraft, and I sewed it in here, and it's just wide enough to go into the track of the sunroof shade. Where are we? Right there. So I've abandoned those magnets. And another thing that gives me is I can tilt the sunroof, and I can have ventilation in here. And if I don't want light, I just pull the sunshade to there, and I block out almost all of it. And yeah. So I still have the magnets over here though, and those hold up the edges. Windows are blocked out. Ooh, I hear a mosquito in here. He's gonna get me. Blacked out door, and again I've still got these little tabs that I hot glued on that just kind of go into that piece of trim where the seatbelt comes through. And yeah, so it gets dark in here at night. I've turned on the lights and gone outside, and nothing's coming through. So this thing will be pretty stealthy as long as I don't start running. Let's turn the light on. As long as I don't start running stuff out that piece of wood there on the back tailgate. But I think inevitably, I think I'm probably going to, I'm looking at the, it starts with a C, but it's the Wave 3 catalytic heater, and it requires 18 inches of clearance above it and 30 inches of clearance in front of it. So I'm going to do some measurement. I think I can put it on that back wall, run propane out to a tank on the ceiling or on the roof, like a small 2.5 pound tank, and then I could have heat in here. And I hear those catalytic heaters, the Olympian something wave. I've heard that they don't heat up as fast, but they don't blow you out like Mr. Heater Buddy do. So anyhow, I think I'm gonna wrap this up and go through these clips together and put a video up. But I'm just chilling in here right now, getting an idea of if these sheepy license plate lights, boom, I'm gonna shine at them, were gonna be enough, and sure enough, they were. So I bought a dimmer to put in line too, in case they were too bright. It's about $7, and I didn't put it in. I was gonna wait and see how bright they were, and I don't need it, so I got an extra dimmer if I need to dim something. But yeah, cool. Got some stuff done today.